a good time.
My favorite part of this is that you're like, I just want people to have a good time. And also I'm writing about murder.
Tell that to the judge, all right?
Tons of murder.
Yeah, I'm like,
Lots
hey,
of murder.
like, lock your doors before you read it, because then you second guess yourself, but then just have a good time.
Have a great time and also fear for your life.
Technically, I did not kill Heather Chandler.
Yeah, exactly. It's the duality of woman.
We are here with Piper L. White, and we are talking about her debut book, All Dead Girls Lie, which just came out. I'm so excited to talk with you today about your book.
Thank you for having me. First and foremost, hi everybody, I'm Piper L. White, author of the new Sapphic young adult thriller, All Dead Girls Lie, and it follows Quinn Levi, a 16-year-old girl living in a small town in Boiling Springs, North Carolina, and she's a horror lover, loner, and just gets sucked into the world of drama when the popular girls start dying, and when she develops feelings for one of them.
Not one of the dead girls who died, but the one who survived.
Yes, the one who survived.
This is not a ghost love story.
No, unfortunately not. Maybe one day.
Maybe for your next book. Write that down quick.
In my notes app.
So this is inspired by Heather's.
Is she dead?
I guess I should ask, is this Heather's movie or Heather's musical or both?
It's Heather's movie.
Okay.
I'm familiar with some of the songs in the Heather's musical, but I have not seen it.
Okay.
I want to. Heather's movie, just the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
The aesthetic of it really is what drew me in. I didn't watch Heather's for the first time until 2020, maybe. I think it was during lockdown. I was like going through my movie list. I loved it. I love anything that's like girly but dark at the same time. I added it to like my repertoire in my brain of comps. I was like, I want to twist this into something. And I love taking stuff like that and then making it sapphic because it makes it just even more juicy, I feel like.
How did you decide to and approach reimagining these very iconic pieces of Heather's, the movie, for a young adult audience in 2025? Because a lot of young adults probably haven't seen Heather's unless they're movie buffs or their parents are movie buffs. What do you think like you have done to try to bring in an audience who typically probably hasn't seen Heather's?
So I have a 15-year-old cousin who is like my little mini-me. I love her so much. And obviously, like in the age of TikTok and everything, granted I'm on TikTok too, I don't know. I've noticed like a string of nostalgia they're kind of loving. I'm noticing a bunch of like the Tumblr era kind of coming back. Granted, I love it. My aunt is a movie buff. I'm a movie buff. Just thinking about my cousin and all these nostalgic movies that she's been watching with my aunt and coming together with that along with all the nostalgia that this new generation is loving. I was like, okay, if I took this and twisted it into something but added like the 2004 kind of grungy vibe, it's like I feel like that could draw them in. And then be like, oh, what is Heather's? Now I need to go and watch it.
That's so true, because often I see books that they'll take like clips of older movies and they'll be like, if you like this clip, and the younger audience is like, what movie is this? And so I feel like if you take your book and you start setting like Heather's clips to it, they're gonna be like, what movie is that? I need to watch right now.
Milk and orange juice. What's the upchuck factor on that?
I'm a no-rust build-up man myself.
Because again, I love movies, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna add them to my list.
Yeah, absolutely. What other influences or works, whether it's like a book or a movie or a TV show, played a role in shaping the story outside of Heather's? How did they inspire you?
I definitely think my number one is Cruel Summer, the TV show, specifically season 1. Season 1 is the most brilliant season 1 of any show that I have seen. I watched that as it was coming out. I think it was 2021. And as I was watching it, I was like, God, I just love the tension that they're creating. And it's like girls in high school. There's this dark, tragic storyline with it, but it's also got all the drama and gossip of girlhood with it, along with like that mystery element. And so watching that, I was like, I want to do something like this. I want that like girly pop, girlhood stuff, but I also want it to be like super dark on the interior. And so that was when I started like plotting out this book, and then I started writing it very shortly after that.
Are you a horror fan?
100%.
Do you like Jennifer's Body?
I love
Yeah.
Jennifer's
Yeah.
I love it so much. It's a great movie.
So you're a fan of like bubblegum horror type books then?
Bubblegum horror is just I just like it's perfect.
It's perfect. It's perfect. This is like bleeding sort of into, I would say Heathers is sort of bleeding into like the bubblegum horror genre.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's like just skirting the line, I would say. What specific challenges or nuances did you face blending different elements here? So like suspense, social commentary, sort of like a coming of age story, a sapphic story, a retelling in a way. What nuances did you try to approach, and what specific challenges did you have?
I knew I wanted to do this in like the early 2000s. Granted, the book takes place in 2004 and I was 4 years old. So I like have this much knowledge of the early 2000s. Like I was there, but I was in preschool. I was out drinking out of sippy cups and I was watching cartoons. And so that was definitely a challenge for me because I wanted to do it right and not do it in like the modernized Y2K things that you can sometimes see in certain light now that we're bringing back all these like, oh, this is going to take place in the 90s, 2000s. I didn't want that. I wanted it to feel super authentic. So definitely took a research aspect in that regard. What I also wanted to do was like with the sapphic love story, I wanted it to be there, but I didn't want to center it. I still wanted it to be about the mystery. And it just so happens that two girls are in love with each other.
Speaking of two girls falling in love with each other, did your characters fall into any sort of like classic tropes? And you're sort of doing like a very inspired work here, right? So is there a Veronica in here, and did you try to create a Veronica or subvert a Veronica? What kind of character tropes did you try to do or subvert here?
I think there's definitely a very surface level Veronica in my book. If you were to set the book characters next to those in Heathers, I feel like my main character would probably be the Veronica. But I didn't want to take it too far into it because I really wanted to I wanted that like trope of like loser girl and then popular girl.
You look like hell.
Yeah, I just got back.
It's there, but it's not like the heightened part of it. Like the mystery is the main thing, but there's like these little things that you can pick out as you read.
When we talk about Heathers and all other thrillers, I love young adult thrillers, and I feel like they do their pacing and their tension so well. I have only gotten about like 12% into All Dead Girls Lie, but I can tell you that the pacing's so good. You flip pages and you've gotten so far in so quickly, and it just goes by so fast. I think that you knew exactly what you wanted to do, and you set out and you're clearly doing it. Like so far, it's
so much.
Really well paced. Writing a thriller, it requires that pacing and tension to stay at like a very specific pace in order to keep reader attention, keep the suspense high while still exploring emotional depth, like that balance there. Did you find that difficult? Were there any surprises along the way while crafting the plot that sort of threw you for a loop there?
So I had a loose outline of how I wanted things to go throughout the whole book, and then I would fill in like the meat of it later on. I think one of the challenges was just trying to find those moments of normal teen girlhood, as well as keeping it like so it wasn't like one thing after the other, and it wasn't like da 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 clue after clue after clue. I wanted to have authentic moments within because I like the fast-paced elements of a thriller, but I still wanted it to feel very real and based in reality because yes, like there's this overarching shadow behind them that is this mystery of like who is killing the popular girls, and it's like, are they next?
Are we going to prom or to hell?
But also it's during Halloween, and so when you're a teenager, Halloween is like carving pumpkins, doing duo costumes with your friends, and I wanted to keep that in there as well.
I just want my high school to be a nice place. Amen. Did that sound bitchy?
It feels like a window into very real human teenage girls. It doesn't feel like this is a story and these are the archetypes and these are the fake cardboard characters. It feels very authentic to the teen experience. We understand like the family dynamics right away, and it's very well done. Like the beginning is so strong. Were there any things that sort of threw you for a loop while writing? So did anything sort of come up that you're like, okay, well I need to incorporate this into the story, and how do I weave this in seamlessly without throwing the rest of the book or the beginning of the book off?
Yeah, there was definitely surprises, and I always like to look at it as my characters being like, no, I don't want that. Let's do this instead. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to listen to you.
Fuck it.
With the loose outline, I always leave room for like the meat, like I said, in between, because that's where you get like the characterization and you get scene and everything else that follows. And I think like there were a few things that were supposed to happen that didn't end up happening, and I definitely blame my characters for tugging me me in that direction. But I definitely think like the way it went and the changes I made from what my outline had said in the first place, I think it made the story stronger. And also, I feel like it saved a bunch of people turmoil too. So
That was very kind of you.
yeah, I was like, I was gonna kill one of my characters. And then I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I really like them. And I think they were like, yeah, don't kill me. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Dear God, please make sure this never happens to me.
So that was like one of my biggest differences, but I don't think it changed that much stuff. I think it honestly added this layer that you can leave the book with being like, but they're alive. Like, what does that mean now? But you'll see at the end.
I think that's so important because there's a lot of books lately where, and readers complain about this, where it's like, are we just killing people off for the sake of killing people off?
I have that problem. Yes. Like, why does everybody all my favorite characters die? They all like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this to me?
All we want is to be treated like human beings, not to be experimented on like guinea pigs or patronized like bunny rabbits.
I don't patronize bunny rabbits.
Well, I think that, you keeping that one alive shows like an intentionality to try to make it make sense, right? To justify what you're doing.
You know what? This person is my favorite character in this book. I'm going to keep them alive because all my other characters that I love in every other book are dead.
What a waste. Oh, the humanity.
So
I get to keep this one thing for myself.
yeah, it's like I did it out of spite.
It's a little treat.
Exactly, it's a little treat. The girlies love little treats.
We love our treats. So there's a lot of tension in Heathers.
Let's start by putting the bomb down on the ground.
And that comes from it being a psychological thriller. And from the beginning, I can feel that psychological thriller tension here. It really just like vibes right off the page. In a book with such dark undertones, there's a lot of murder. How do you balance these intense moments of suspense or danger with moments of vulnerability and emotion between the characters, especially when we have like this like budding sapphic romance?
I definitely think it goes back to if I was one of those characters and if I like, because I was that age at one point. I was honestly that age like a decade ago. So when I think about it, I'm like, in this moment, you would feel the adrenaline and you would feel everything. But then when you take that moment to process it, because the book, it's all happening like there's a different day. Like it's day by day. It's not all just like one big go. It's like you have these moments of adrenaline and suspense. And when people, they're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But then when they slow down and see, it's like they're still real people, even though they're fictional characters and they're teenagers. So like that is a big sphere that's got a bunch of different emotions. I wanted to try to balance that out because teenagers feel many different emotions. There's no telling when they're gonna feel them either. And I wanted to kind of capture that too. Like I'm scared, but then I'm having this like moment of fun, but then I'm also dreading my life because what if it ends? And I don't want it to end because I'm so young. A big mixing bowl of all those things.
It's very Heathers because it's like these very heightened, intense feelings of not just that dread and the psychological suspense, but like there's a cat.
My cat Marnie, I named her after Marnie Piper from Halloween Town. She always has to butt into meetings, but she'll probably go to sleep right there.
She just needed to be seen.
Oh yeah, she's a diva. She loves it. She's like, camera? Okay.
I like that she perched right there. She was like, let me get in the shot.
She'll be here the rest of the time.
She'd be a really good character in a thriller, actually.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll have to add in a cat that's like a complete diva. I would never kill an animal. That's another, I will never do that in my books, ever.
Yeah, no, I think I'd have to stop reading. Like, okay, relationship over.
No, valid. That is so valid. I could never do it.
Yeah, in the suspense of Heathers, it's like not just like the psychological things that we're going through, but also just like the experience of being a 17-year-old. Everything is so heightened. Everything feels so hard and you feel everything so strong all the time. I feel like this is such a good, I don't feel like we have enough like Heathers inspired media for teens because we forget how much like Heathers is about being a 17-year-old.
The song in the Broadway musical.
Yeah, can we be 17? Like, can we?
Yeah, and like that's why characters, they're like,
can't we be 17?
Without spoilers, how do you navigate writing a big twist in a young adult thriller book where you're in a genre where you have Good Girl's Guide to Murder and We Were Liars? Wait, no, that's not it. What's the one? Oh shit, I forgot.
I mean, We Were Liars has a huge twist.
We Were Liars does have a huge twist. My audience hates it.
I guess the twist.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Like, I guess I kind of knew the second we started talking about what happened. I was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
With writing a genre that really relies a lot of the time on writing a big twist, how do you navigate that? The genre really like hinges on having this major reveal and whether or not that's going to land with the audience. So do you feel pressure to write like the twist that nobody saw coming? Did you go through like multiple ideas for different twist endings that you thought about, or did you have an idea of how you wanted things to end like from the start?
I would say there's like little twists and turns throughout the book, but like the biggest twist I've had planned since the beginning. Honestly, since I write thrillers and mysteries, every time I read one, I know what happens. I can tell you what happens. There's been maybe like 2 books that I haven't guessed, but it doesn't bring the joy out of it because I love seeing the lead up to it. When it comes to writing a twist like that, I'm like, okay, this is how I see it and how I want to do it. And if someone's going to guess it, I at least want to make the lead up to it worth it. So it's still entertaining. And when they get there, they're like, God, even though I knew what was going to happen, like this is playing out so juicy and like so well. It's definitely difficult. But I try to put myself in the mindset of people who both read thrillers like crazy like I do and those who don't, so they can meet in the middle and still be satisfied with whatever the twist may be.
I think that's so important that your main goal was to write a story that was enjoyable and engaging and was a journey that was worth taking for the readers along the way, rather than being like, how can I pull the rug out from under them at the last minute? Even if they don't like the twist, hopefully the reception will be like, I really enjoyed the book for what we were doing all the way through. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the way that it evoked a lot of emotion and a lot of heightening of senses for me. I think that that's such an important distinction, is writing a thriller for the good story, for the thrills along the way, rather than for the twist. And you can kind of tell when a book is written for the twist and around the twist, rather than writing a good story. What do you hope readers take away from All Dead Girls Lie? Is there a particular message or feeling that you want to leave with its intended audience?
When it comes to a message, I just want people to have fun reading it. It doesn't need to be this like big, great next thriller novel or like the next great American YA novel. I just want people to have fun. Like whenever I read or watch a movie, I'm always just like, if I'm in a good mindset and I'm just having a good time and I'm vibing, it's gonna be one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. And so I want people to have a good time. I don't want them to like expect anything afterwards except like, wow, that was really fun and I enjoyed that.
I love that answer. I love that. I love that you're just like, I just want to make a good story for people to enjoy.
So I like to just have fun. Like go into the mindset of this is just going to be a fun read for slasher summer or Halloween, whenever you decide to read it, and you'll have a good time.
My favorite part of this is that you're like, I just want people to have a good time. And also I'm writing about murder.
Tell that to the judge, all right?
Tons of murder.
Yeah, I'm like,
Lots
hey,
of murder.
like lock your doors before you read it, because then you second guess yourself, but then just have a good time.
Have a great time and also fear for your life.
Technically, I did not kill Heather Chandler.
Yeah, exactly. It's the duality of woman.
What can we expect from you moving forward? Is there any projects that you're working on that you can tell us about? Are they in the thriller genre again? Are you going to continue writing like this big piece of media but make it sapphic? Tell us what you're kind of working on, hopeful for the future.
So when I started All Dead Girls Lie, I got this idea for like an anthology series. I do quotations for anthology because I have 4 in mind. There could be more. There could be less. We do not know. I have ideas for sapphic thrillers that take place in a different decade, but still kind of follow like the girlhood. Girlhood will always be a theme for me. Womanhood. It's always going to be about the girlies. So I'm working on a few of those. My second one is finished. Takes place in the 90s.
I love that you're writing outside of the now. I really appreciate like writing in the 2000s was a great idea.
Like I love Yellow Jackets. That is my favorite TV show. The best TV show on right now. And I love that we have the 90s timeline. I want to emulate that. Moving forward, definitely more thrillers. I have a secret adult project I'm working on, but that could take me years to write because it's a big one. So yeah, expect more YA thrillers in the near future.
That's so exciting, especially with like playing around with decades is so exciting, because a lot of stuff comes out like in the now, right? But we don't have a lot of stuff that's in the 90s and in the 80s and the 2000s. And
that's fun.
I know, I want to rewind time. I want to go back to where there were no iPhones.
Decade Day in high school was so big every single year. So I'm like, okay, let me take that and pull them into some thrillers that each follow a different girl, a different state, and a different storyline.
I love that idea. That's part of what I like about Stranger Things is, like, if Stranger Things were happening now, it would be live casted on TikTok, right? Everybody would be like, I'm in the Upside Down. They didn't have that in the 80s.
I'm a Vecna.
Hashtag oops ended up in the Upside Down.
They're like, what song are you singing in the Upside Down?
This is my Upside Down playlist.
And they're like doing TikTok dances with Vecna, because they're like, you're not gonna get me. God, can you imagine?
I can, which is the thing, which is why I'm glad that it's not set in the now.
It's so laughable at that rate. Like,
that lack of like the same technology we have now is half the fun.
I agree with that, because I grew up without a phone, because I was the 2000s, and then I got one in middle school, but it was like to tell my parents I got off the bus. When there's thrillers now with like the phones and the TikTok, it just leaves like an unserious level, which is fun in some regard, but I love evoking dread. Like, I want you to feel like stuck and trapped, like you don't have a phone, like you can't really go call anybody, you have to get on your run away.
You have to get on your bike, you can't call the cops from the middle of nowhere.
No, go to a payphone. Like, go figure out how to use a payphone.
Oh God, a payphone.
Yeah, no, I don't want to make it easy on them.
No, we've established, because you've killed everybody.
Oh, exactly. If they're dragging me every way, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna put you in a decade where you're not gonna know what to do, and you're gonna be stuck. So,
no phone for you.
Yeah, no, I gotta have a balance. Like,
enjoy your Walkman.
Yeah, exactly. Like, love you guys, but you're gonna have to go through some shit. Sorry.
No internet for you. Well, I guess some internet. Not the kind of internet we have now. Not at the fingertips.
Like, chat rooms.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah, email. Good luck with your emails.
Yes. Wait for my 80s thriller. They're gonna be so upset. Like, what's happening? I
love that the characters come through and tell you, like, this is really frustrating, and you're like, I know.
Like, guys, I know. Sorry.
Oh, that sucks.
And then I'm like, oh, chapter, you're not in it.
And you're dead.
Yeah, it's like when I was playing with dolls when I was little, and I'd make all these extreme storylines. It's like I'm doing that with them.
It's like The Sims. Did you play The Sims?
Oh, it is just like The Sims.
Yeah, every Sim family of mine was terrorized.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely. Like me, I'm never going to be a thriller author, but I did do my time creating terrifying episodes for families and characters in my own world.
That's where it all began.
That was my writing bubblegum horror era.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited for the audience to find your book. I think that this is like so perfect for so much of my audience that really enjoyed Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Kelly Andrews' books like Your Blood, My Bones, Tiffany D. Jackson's books. There's so much, even though you're doing like a lot of like, often in this genre we're doing like a lot of like the same kind of thrills, there's always new, amazing, unique ways to divert and tell a new thrilling story, which is what's so exciting about All Dead Girls Lie.
It's like a choose your own adventure.
Yes.
I just like, because those are my favorite types of games, like the Quarry, Until Dawn. It's like when you can choose something and then there's like many different options and outcomes.
Yep.
I love that with thrillers. That's why I keep reading them. I will thrillers are my favorite.
Yes.
Which, I'm kind of biased because I write them, but like every thriller I pick up, if it's kind of like borderline the same, there's always those fun little unique pockets that are different. Like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, one of my favorite series.
Oh, it's so good. This book was comped as Good Girl's Guide to Murder, yeah? Yeah, that makes sense. I can see it. This is, I would say, like a shade darker, which is my preference, but I'm having, like, just as much fun as I did. Like, that was another book where I just open it and immediately I'm, like, flying through pages.
Oh yeah, I read the second book in a day.
They're just so consumable, and I feel the exact same way about this. I mean, I'm just having a great time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also with the Quarry, one of my best friends, Natalie, she played that. She live streamed it, and that scared the shit out of me. But I also had a really good time, like, watching her make decisions, and I'm like, no, don't choose that one. I love a choose your own adventure.
Oh yeah, I love to play with my friends who don't play video games, and they're like, oh no, what am I doing? And then they kill everybody. And I'm like, oh, you're like me as an author. I promise not to kill everybody.
We'll see.
Well, just some.
We'll see. And it's not like they can call for help.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're trapped. I mean, technically, they were trapped in the Quarry, too.
That's
their
true.
phones were.
Their phones were not working. That was horrifying.
Dude, I would have just hid in a bunker. I would have just been like, y'all have at it.
No, a lot of those choices were like, where is my other option where I don't do any of these, actually? Yeah.
It's like, oh, I get so mad in horror movies when I'm like, why? I'm like, just go, leave.
Just
leave. And then if you're gonna, like, make sure that they're, before you do anything else.
I think about this all the time.
If I was in this situation, I'm leaving everybody. Love you guys, but I'm leaving. Final girl, yeah, flight girl. I'm leaving.
Flight girl. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
I know. I can't wait to finish it and tell you how much I loved it, because I know I'm going to.
I can't wait. I hope you enjoyed the rest of it.
All right. Thank you again, Piper. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Likes and comments if you feel like it. Any questions, leave them down below, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
And before I go, I have to say thank you for being a friend. Therapyville's patrons, and those are Alexander, Andy, Ashley 8, Astra, Beck, Call Me Kodiak, Choco's Homesick for Taiwan, DJ Rocktopus, Ellie, Emerald Dodd, Eric, Jade L, John E, Jory, Julie D, K, Kai Brecker has not read Six of Crows, Kaleno K, Kelly K, Quinn, Lady Kittybug, Lady Chips, Lemon Jelly, Lex, Other Lex, Lily, Lisa L, Mataraptor, Max B, Megwin Rose, Melissa, Minby, Mixer Boneless, Not So Secretly a Skeleton, Peggy Luhu, Piloting SRN, Rain, Reese, SJ, Samar, Scarlet, Spoopy, Steph B, Super SMA Girl Lily, 3 Raccoons in a Trench Coat, Tori, Urchin Audrey, White Raven 13, and Zorvictia. Thank you all so much for being here and for being a friend. And a huge thank you to my potato starch Marxists, Adrian, Aaron, Alejandra, Ali Oxenfree, Althea, Amanda D, Angelica, Artie the Ninth, Ava, Barry B, Beck Lowe, Binging for Soup, Blue Moon Syrup, Bookish by Jenna, Bookish Rabbit, Bree, Bridget 108, Kate, Caitlin, Carlin, Carly, Casper, Kate W, Kat Cole, Colleen, Corwin, Cosmic Frog, Courtney, Darius, Danielle, Danita, Darren, Desiree Michelle, Dilf Enthusiast, Dorothea Supports Public Education, Draco-chan, Drive-By Thinker, Ebby, Emily A, Emma, Aaron with 2 E's, Erica May, Aaron Starlight, Gadarn, Hannah C, Helen P, Harising, JM Tennant, Jackalope Max, Jay is on Olympus, Jelly V, Jen Michelle, Genderqueer, Jenny G, Jessie Ives, Jessa Sue, Jill, Jojo Bookish, Juicy Wizard, who I just met in person at BugNetFest, and I was so excited. Caitlin M, Catherine, Katie, Katrina, Kayla, Kaylee, Kayala, Kendra, KMTV, Kayana, Laughing Cat Dog, Laura is Angry, Lauren G, Lazarus Ray, Lindsay M, LP, Lou Siri, Lustful Octopus, Martin, Macy Jane, Maddie, Madison, Man-Eating Plant, Megan, Malara, May, Mima Who, Morgan P, Myth Lesbian, Nicole G, Oxford, supporter, same, Paige P, Penelope, Penny Chilling, Foxglove, Pick a God and Pray, Plague Carrier, Pandemonium, Queen Cereal, Rachel B, Rebecca R, Ren, Flynn, Rhea, Ronnie, Rosie Thorns, Secoria, Sadie, Saintbringer, Sakia Lume, Sarah H, Sarah the Bear, Shamed, Shannon, Sheen Onion, Sean, Sophie, Talia, That One Cute Chick, This Is Not a Trap, Tiana, Too Thick to Work to Get Today, Triple M, Tito Phoenix, Unicorn Jenny. Thank you all so much for being here and for being a friend.